On April 16th of 2020, I, along with my wife, my grandson, my nephew, and my nephew's girlfriend, were camped here at this location. It's undisclosed. And just a weekend getaway. We all sat around the campfire, just enjoyed the evening, went to bed about midnight. About 1 o'clock, something had walked up to our tent and was sniffing the tent at my wife's side of the tent by her head.
You want to show us where that was?
Yes.
Let's go look. Is this the same tent?
Yes.
Okay.
She was against the back corner there, except we had the flap down.
Uh-huh.
It was a lot colder then.
Okay. Yeah.
Something had walked around to this back side
Uh-huh.
over here and was bent down, sniffing right here, because her head is about this high off the ground.
Right.
Is bent down sniffing, and it's very distinct. You could hear the sniffing.
Uh-huh.
At that time, she looked over and told me, something's sniffing my head, and I said, I heard it. At that time, I looked at my dog. I raised Cane Corsos, big Italian Mastiffs.
Uh-huh.
I looked at my dog, and my dog was at alert, looking at the same corner. I told her at that time, I'm gonna go see what it is. I yelled to my grandson and my nephew, something's in the camp. They did not wake up. I grabbed a pistol, come out of the camp, of the tent, call for my dog. My dog refused to come out of the tent. So I walked to the back side of the tent here, and as I walked back here, I seen a dark figure, biped, running down this road. There's a small road leading off here, going to another road.
Yeah.
It was running down this road, but I was standing by the tree.
Uh-huh.
At that time, I fired 3 rounds. I say 2, everybody else at camp said it was 3. In the air above everything to scare it away. But it was very distinct. I could see the dark shadow, and it was very fast running down this road.
Was there a lot of moonlight that night?
Yes.
Cool. You probably wouldn't have seen anything if it wasn't for that.
Yes.
Huh.
And at that time, later on that night, all night long, you could hear something walking periodically
Yeah.
around the camp.
Out around in here.
Yes.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's pretty
continued
wooded.
most of the night.
It probably wasn't this overgrown if it was April, but it'd be getting close.
Yeah, it was just starting to bud.
Yeah. Huh.
But that's occurred that night. It was very frightful.
That would have scared the hell out of me.
It scared me. I was more worried for my wife because it seemed to be interested in her. I guess maybe in her shampoo or whatever. But what startled me is my dog refused to come out of the tent, and she's well over maybe 110 pounds, and she would not come out of the tent. She cowed down in the
She
tent.
probably had a better idea what you deal with than you did.
Since then, I've come down here numerous times.
Uh-huh.
And on October 10th, excuse me, I camped at another campsite further down the road here, further down the area. And at that time, we arrived about 10 o'clock at night. At that time, me and my wife set up camp, put the tent up. We got in the SUV, we turned our night vision on for a while, nothing happened. So we called it a night. We were in bed about an hour, and something was walking in our camp. You could hear it, the crickets would stop, the frogs, everything would stop. And I thank God I had audio of this. It would go dead silent, and then a few minutes later, a large tree got pushed over, and you could hear it just vibrate through the forest here. And then the tree knock started, and I've got it recorded. I think I had like 23 tree knocks that night. And we had owls. It seemed like owls everywhere. And when this would go on, you'd hear a howling in the background back off to my southeast.
Yeah.
And it just didn't stop. It went on like this for, 5 hours and 48 minutes is what I've got it recorded at. It came in camp at one time, shook my tent. And I've got the audio on that. I've got the whole audio file on this.
Yeah, it makes a distinct sound, doesn't
Yes. But this area that I continue to come to, there's something here, and I know that. I've heard it howl too many times. I've camped here other times and just heard the howls on a distant mountain across from us here. But for some reason, I think the interest is in my wife more than anything, because it's always centered around her. I've camped by myself and nothing happened.
Yeah.
But when she's here, it always happens.
Hmm.
So I continue coming down here just out of curiosity, more than anything. But that's what occurred on that April night. And still to this day, I'm very leery.
Well, it's just being intelligent.
About 1 o'clock usually starts, and I get that feeling. I get that.
Yeah.
Everybody's camped with me down here about that time. Get that, like something's watching. You don't see nothing, but it's like something's watching you.
Yeah. Well, the second we step out into this environment, they've got us outclassed.
Yes.
So this is their territory. We're the guests.
Yes, and the morning after the October 10th, I photographed tracks on a trail right beside our tent. I got some photographs that it's hard to determine what they are, but at first I thought it was just the trees, but if you look at the photographs, I snapped multiple photographs, it moves.
Yeah.
It moves location. Just slight moves to the side
Right.
and down.
This is during the daytime.
Yes, it was early morning. It was about 6 o'clock in the morning. The following morning, it was on, it would have been October the 11th.
Did you see it at the time?
No, I did not. Somebody else I'd put that, I was pointing out a tree break.
Yeah.
And someone asked me, you don't see that behind your wife? And I said, no. And they circled it and sent it back to me. And that's when I noticed, and then I looked at all my other photos, and that's when I noticed the movement, that it had moved. So there is something here at this location, and because of I don't want to do it any harm. I don't want nobody else to either.
Yeah.
So I just want it to be left undisclosed.
That's
if
right.
possible.
Well, I don't blame you. I think it's a good thing, especially with all this stuff going on with our state legislator.
Yes.
And you never know what kind of, I don't know. You never know how some people are going to react to that. And
Yes.
I guess now is probably the best time the most important time we've had to keep, locations kind of quiet.
Yes.
So I don't blame you. I think you're doing the right thing. So.
And that's about what occurred, and I continue coming down here.
Well, we'll see what happens tonight.
All right, sounds good.
If you or someone you know has had some type of cryptid encounter, please reach out to us and tell us your story. You can remain completely anonymous.